Rebels sucked. It recycles dialogue. It recycled the TIE fighter chase from episode 4. It had Kanan telling Ezra he needs to get attached, but attachment's forbidden. This is another really crappy episode of Rebels. I'm sorry to say the show shows no sign of potential, and I have no clue why I decided to blog on this. Okay, do you honestly believe that's what I thought of this episode? Where was this show the entire time? This is more like it. Like, this is what I want. Okay, this is Empire Day. And this episode is where the show finally gets interesting. Finally. Has everything I've ever wanted of it. So anyway, it's set on Empire Day, which is celebrating the day that the Clone Wars ended and the Republic was declared an empire. And the rebels are pulling off a regular job just to mess with the Empire. And but it gets a bit more complicated while they're trying to escape. The area is put on lockdown not just because of what they did, but because they're looking for a Rodian who they find out has connections to Ezra's family. And not only that, but has a lot of Imperial intel, including new technology, which we know about, like the Imperial Walkers from Empire Strikes Back and stuff, which I thought was a cool tie-in. And also he knows Ezra's family, and we learn a bit more about Ezra's past through him, and specifically that his family's still alive, and episode ends. Not still alive, but he knows what happened to him, and the episode ends. So, I really like this episode. I mean, I was worried the show was going to be dumb and goofy and it was never going to get as dark as Clone Wars, but I was glad to see them do it. I mean, you can still have the show be lighthearted and goofy, but it's okay to have some drama every now and then. A little bit of darkness, and I'm glad the show finally did it. First off, Empire Day. Like, it's a cool concept. I mean, it feels appropriate. It kind of takes me back to the nuts. I don't know. It just had this nice ring to it. I mean, you have all the propaganda going, the gathering, like, I don't know, it's just, it created this atmosphere in the world that we haven't had. And I also like how, for once, I've been complaining the show's running around, it never takes the time for us to get to know Ezra. Now we finally know Ezra. I mean, the show, just a lot of moments of just letting him breathe. Like, I love the moment where he goes back into his house, and he just walks in there, looks at something we don't see, we just see the expression on his face. Those little moments like that of just letting him breathe just did wonders. I mean, and I do like how there is that little mystery. Now you're like, what happened to Ezra's parents? And although there was something interesting to note, I thought I recognized the voice, but I double-checked in the credits. The voice of Ezra's father is D. Bradley Baker. And if you don't know who D. Bradley Baker is, he's the voice. He voiced all the clones on the Clone Wars, which leads me to wonder, is one of the clones possibly Rex, Ezra's father? I mean, it can't just be a coincidence. I mean, D. Bradley Baker can do a bunch of voices. I'm sure he could have altered it. Like, the fact that we don't have a flashback, we just hear the voice, it's like, is it D. Bradley Baker, or is it a clone? Like, I have to wonder. And if that's the case, are we going to learn what Rex's fate is via Clone Wars Legacy so we actually get what the fuck's going on? I mean, was it just a coincidence? I mean, you could have cast anyone. Why D. Bradley Baker, unless it's a clone, and you're cluing the Clone Wars fans in? Or another possibility is that Filoni is a rough cut of a clone-focused arc. There was this arc about this experimental, unorthodox group of clones known as Bad Batch. It's possible that maybe he just brought him in there so he'd have an excuse to have D. Bradley Baker record the lines for that arc so he could release as part of Legacy, but who knows. That would be cool, though, but not doubt. But I'm interested. And I'm okay with them recycling Lothal. I mean, It does bother me that we're getting the same locations over and over again, although we did get some nice places like the Cantina, Esper's house, like little locations to help flesh the world out. But I'm okay with it being small. I mean, it's a local rebellion. It needs to expand, and I like the idea of us starting in a local place, starting small. Although you think the Empire would figure out that this is where this group of rebels, specifically a Jedi, hang out. And there was also a lot of action. Like, the action was fun, it went on for a while. And I feel like a lot of why this episode works is because they weren't just trying to cram in and tell a 20-minute story. They were telling a story over multiple episodes. I mean, I love the cliffhanger ending. It was just bam, sudden, unexpected, and it makes me anticipate for next week. And by spreading out a story over multiple episodes, it just allows the characters to, like, breathe and space everything out. It's not like you're rushing and cramming, and it felt like a dense episode where it really felt a little meaty. It wasn't like the pilot where it just felt like a bunch of running around. And then the background, I'm still not too big on the character models, but they're doing a good job hiding the limitations with their animation. Again, the background animation looks really good. So yeah, this was the first really solid episode, and I really hope the show keeps it up. If we get more episodes like this show could become something. Again, it's kind of like with Clone Wars, how Season 1 of Clone Wars wasn't that special, and then you had the really good Trespass episodes. Like, if we got more Trespass episodes, the show could become something. But yeah, I'm really curious to see where the show's going next episode. Are we going to find Ezra's dad? Are we going to meet him? Really curious. And yeah, I'm really curious also to see what happens, because Season 1 was rushed, like, they had, like, a year to put this together. What happens when they have more time? Like, this show could become something. I really hope it keeps it up. So yeah, what did you think of Empire Day? Did you like it like me, or are you like, please comment and let me know. And as always, this is JStars360, and I think the Force is finally with this show. Take care.